While there are plenty of benefits to renting an apartment, one drawback is you can't truly make the space your own. If you want that security deposit back, you'll have to find creative ways of making the space unique. Welcome to Jensen's DIY. Here are 14 super unique apartment kitchen ideas. 1. Make small changes to make the kitchen your own. It really doesn't take much to put your own spin on your kitchen space. You don't have to get huge or expensive pieces of furniture to jazz up your kitchen. Just something simple, like perhaps adding a bookshelf that you like, can produce a distinct style without making permanent modifications. 2. Hide hideous countertops using contact paper. Do you think those countertops are made of marble? Think again. They're actually just covered with a few rolls of contact paper. The fact is, a lot of apartment kitchens are fitted with cheap laminate that just doesn't exude a homey or classy vibe. The good news is that with some contact paper, ingenuity, and a little bit of patience, you can hide ugly countertops and make them look incredible. 3. There's nothing quite like putting up artwork in your kitchen to give it a breath of fresh air. A few outstanding pieces of art can really take your kitchen to the next level. However, if you don't have extra money to spend on artwork, no worries. You can frame your kids' handiwork and hang it up in the kitchen. You can even try hanging baskets up or even putting down a small rug. 4. Placing live plants in your kitchen is always a great idea, provided you have the space, of course. Make sure to pick plants that are easy to maintain and care for, and try putting them in the corners. If you really have a green thumb, you can even add hanging baskets filled with winding climbing plants that will definitely give your kitchen a fresh, reinvigorated look. 5. Vintage pieces are always great for giving your kitchen space and character. This works beautifully in apartments which haven't been renovated or redecorated in quite some time. There are plenty of ways that you can go about adding vintage pieces. One example is to use an old ceramic dish as a book organizer, which is not only smart, but stylish as well. 6. Finding a spot to store your kitchen utensils can be quite challenging when you already don't have much space to work with. In this case, you should think vertically and try using a wire rack that you can hang on the wall. This is an ideal way to add more storage space to your kitchen and simultaneously give your space a more modern vibe. 7. You don't need to be a handyman to change a ceiling light fixture, and doing so is one easy way to spruce up your space. Take this rustic strainer pendant light, for example. It adds charm to the space and works great for kitchens that have boob light fixtures. Swapping out lights is not rocket science, but if you aren't comfortable working with electricity, feel free to call the services of a handyman to take care of this for you. 8. A hideous old backsplash can really bring an average kitchen's aesthetic down. The good news is that this isn't something you have to just grin and bear. Look for bright, colorful, and vibrant backsplashes, like the one shown in this particular kitchen. This one is actually a stick-on that can be removed just as easily as it can be installed. And the best part is, it doesn't cause any permanent damage that may lead to you losing your security deposit. So, if you want to give your kitchen space an upgrade without making any permanent changes, try covering those ugly backsplashes. 9. It may not sound like much, but changing up your old cabinet pulls can drastically improve the vibe and feel of your kitchen, making dull old cabinets look brand new once again. Take these leather cabinet pulls, for example. They are contemporary, streamlined, and will complement just about any kitchen style. However, just remember to keep the original cabinet pulls and make sure to return every single one before you move out so that you don't encounter any hitches with your landlord and your deposit. 10. Don't let your old filing cabinet just lie around and rot. Put it to good use. This item can actually become a unique rolling island that is especially useful for those who don't have a lot of real estate in their apartment. It's a great way to give yourself more counter and storage space when you are working with a tiny kitchen. What's more, you can make a bold statement or make the piece into a conversation starter by painting it with a color that really pops. 11. You may have already noticed this, But a recurring theme in this video has been how to make use of whatever kitchen space you have in your apartment. Creativity and ingenuity will really come in handy when you're looking for ways to add space and character to your kitchen. Take this ordinary decorative tray, for example, which can be used to properly store and organize condiment and seasoning bottles. You can also buy fancy dispensers to add even more storage space to your kitchen. 12. Does your floor look beat up and dirty? Unfortunately, a grimy floor is something that you'll probably have to deal with at some point when you're renting an apartment. Although you can't do anything to repair or even replace the floor that won't place your security deposit at risk, it doesn't mean that you can't hide it. One thing that you can do is use a Turkish runner or another type of pretty rug to cover up a floor that has seen better days. Not only will your floor look nice, but your feet will also thank you for the cushioning. 13. If you want a chalkboard in your apartment, first and foremost, you need to check with your landlord to see if he or she will allow you to carry out this makeover. In our experience, landlords will usually sign off on changes that can easily be rectified once you move out. If and when you get the green light to perform this project, we recommend that you cover a bare kitchen wall with chalkboard paint. The black accent will give your kitchen a subtle mood, and it will also provide you with a nifty place to write reminders. 14. Renovating your apartment's kitchen is a huge no-no, especially if you want to get your security deposit back. The next best thing when it comes to sprucing up your space is to add gorgeous statement pieces. Take a look at this stunning, custom reclaimed wooden table that functions as a catchy visual point for your kitchen. Although it may seem extravagant to purchase extra furniture pieces for a kitchen that is not your own, having a beautiful table, chairs, or other eye-catching items will definitely give the space the character you're looking for. And that's all for now. What do you think about this episode? Please share your thoughts about this video in the comment section. For more decorating and organizing ideas, stay tuned to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.